Tad and Jodi Geschickter opened the doors of the race shop some 17 years ago, starting out in the Nationwide Series before launching a Cup team in 2008 with Marcus Ambrose. In 2011, the Geschickters landed former Sprint Cup champion Bobby Labonte to drive the number 47 car. Now, in 2012, with former NBA star Brad Daugherty as a partner, JTG Daugherty Racing is on its own after a 3-year partnership with Michael Waltrip Racing. They call themselves a team in transition in hopes of becoming a team to contend with. JTG, an acronym for Jodi and Tad Geschickter. Now, Tad's at the track every week, a little bit more out front, but make no mistake, they are partners. Jodi Geschickter, a 5'0" Spitfire who's got a heart of gold and a fist of iron. And being a woman in a sport where men dominate matters not to Jodi. Just like the Delana Harvicks and Kelly Earnhardts in this business, Jodi is in a league of her own. Here's Danielle Trotta with her journey.
I know it's not the easiest question to answer. I'm sure there's a lot that you do around here, but try to describe for fans what Jodi does on a day-to-day basis.
I wear a lot of hats. Brought you a few things. My day can start and end with like a human resources angle, putting things on the hauler that we need to have on there, from credential holders to products to uniform changes, shirts and clothes for Bobby. It can take on a life of its own. Usually when I start out the day, I plan on doing one thing, and by the end it was something totally different.
How did you get into racing?
My husband Tad worked for Procter & Gamble with the Tad racing team. And our first date was the Coca-Cola 600 here in Charlotte.
And we are under green, away for 400, grinding, grueling laps.
Blistering hot, 6, 7 hours in the grandstands. I just want to see how she'd hold up.
Darrell Waltrip has taken over in 3rd position with car number 17 behind these 2 leaders.
It was all guys. So it's sort of a hazing experience to see if I could hang with it.
She passed the test, obviously.
That's how we sort of started, and that was my first taste of it.
At the time, I wasn't sure that we were going to end up being in racing for a career.
2 years later, right after we got married, we had this bright idea that we'd start a race team. Like that was just going to happen, you know? Well, it doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work, and it's taken years.
I'll come on into Richmond, so I'll do the Richmond race. And
when you look at Brad Daugherty, well, it's hard to miss Brad Daugherty.
Yeah, it's hard to miss Brad Daugherty.
But let me tell you something, Boo. He qualified 27, and that is a problem.
He talked about you being the glue.
Without Jodi, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. We'd be in a lot of trouble.
I don't know about being the glue, but I think I do have a purpose here. Now, I brought some raincoats.
She does all the stuff that I don't want to do, which is all the hard work.
He also told me that Brad said you're a tough cookie.
Oh, I like to think so. I can text y'all and let y'all know when we're rolling, so we can move things along quickly.
Oh, she's mean. She can be very mean.
I'm gonna run inside. Okay. Okay. I think you need to be a tough cookie in this business. I think you need to be determined. I think you need to be confident and a strong person.
Don't let her fool you. Sometimes she comes in and she's all dolled up and real pretty, and I forget that she's really can be very, very feisty.
I tend to walk with a purpose. I walk pretty fast. I walk with a purpose. And one of the guys looked at me and said, "Who's in trouble?" I said, "Nobody's in trouble. Why would you say that?" And he said, "Well, you were walking like somebody was in trouble." When you work with a lot of men, I think there needs to be a mutual respect. And I respect the jobs that they have to do at the racetrack, and I hope that they respect what I need to do behind the scenes. I believe that they do.
Is it important for you to be a role model in that way for other women coming up in racing?
I think it's important for women to have role models, somebody that they can really identify with. It's critical that we be respected and approached in that way, and not just an accessory.
Where does JTG stack up in your eyes on a competitive level?
I believe we're about middle of the pack on a competition level.
Bobby Labonte with engine problems.
We've had some struggles early on with our race program, but we've had some really good things happen that point to progress.
We had a really strong technical alliance with Michael Waltrip Racing for 3 years, and chose that we had taken that as far as we could. It's time to stand on our own 2 feet.
Great learning experience being partnered up with those guys, but we wanted to really establish our independence.
Todd Barrier, he's a pretty smart guy. Doesn't surprise me to see Bobby running a lot better.
We've got new people in positions. We've got Todd Barrier that we just added this year, and he's our general manager and also our crew chief. He's got his hands full. We've given Todd a lot of responsibility.
5 years from now, I see a multi-car team, two-car team.
Hopefully, 10 years from now, we're a chase-worthy opponent that's battling to win a championship.
Do you ever allow yourself to sit back and look at what you've created together?
Tad and I have been married for 20 years. Almost 21, I can't believe it. It goes by so fast, and we've been doing this almost as long. But one thing I think we don't do enough is to sit back and really enjoy what we're doing. Sometimes we're so busy working, come on in, home sweet home, that we forget to look back and see where we've come from. And when we do, we laugh and go, oh, look at what we were doing and what we were wearing and how we had to do that. I don't think we celebrate that enough. I think we probably need to take more time to celebrate how far we've come.
The Geschichters have accomplished a lot in NASCAR racing, but Tad didn't set out to be involved in the sport as a team owner. He wanted to be a high school coach. In fact, he was a catcher at William & Mary, but that was all before Procter & Gamble hired him away.